With each passing year, hailstorms around the world are becoming larger and more dangerous. The scale of this growing threat is clearly illustrated by the events of the past week. How is it possible that such massive chunks of ice are falling from the sky? And what does this have to do with human activity? We'll talk about all of that today. Russia. Over the past week, a series of extreme weather events was observed across the territory of Russia. The storm, moving in from Belarus, struck the southern districts of the Pskov region on the 9th of July. After the storm, with heavy rain, strong winds, and a tornado, significant destruction remained. Fallen trees, broken power lines, and damaged roofs of many houses. Hail the size of a chicken egg destroyed greenhouses and wiped out crops. To eliminate the consequences of the storm, specialists had to restore more than 1,900 kilometers of power lines and activate 1,199 transformer substations. Fallen trees blocked a section of the federal highway A122. Almost half of the monthly precipitation norm, 31 millimeters, fell in the city of Veliki Novgorod. The average monthly norm for July is 67 millimeters. A lightning strike hit a substation, causing a fire, and part of the city was left without electricity. Approximately 1,200 trees were removed by energy workers in the Pskov and Novgorod regions following the storm. 2 days later, a new and even more powerful storm struck the Novgorod region. The thunderstorm was accompanied by squally winds, the strength of which, according to local residents, they had never experienced before. As a result of the storm, electricity was lost in 485 populated areas across the region. From the 9th to the 15th of July, Moscow and the Moscow region were swept by a series of natural disasters. Anomalous heat was followed by powerful storms with hail, record-breaking downpours, and hurricane-force winds. Homes, vehicles, and city infrastructure were damaged, and lightning strikes caused several fires. Hailstones up to 7 centimeters in diameter struck Zelenograd and the village of Alabushevo, while at Sheremetyevo Airport, wind speeds intensified to hurricane levels of 33 meters per second. On the 12th of July, following extreme heat of 36 degrees Celsius, a record that surpassed that of the year 1903, a tropical downpour struck Moscow. Within just a few hours, a quarter of the city's monthly rainfall norm poured down. Due to damage to the overhead contact system at the Ploshchad Trek Vokzalov station, train traffic was suspended. On the 14th of July, during another thunderstorm, streets, building entrances, and parking lots were once again flooded by heavy rain. In several localities, lightning strikes caused fires in residential homes. In less than 2 hours on the 15th of July, the entire monthly precipitation norm fell in certain areas. In the northern and eastern parts of Moscow, streets were submerged, pedestrian crossings, metro stations, and cars were flooded, and the operation of commuter trains and Aero Express services was suspended. On the 12th of July, strong winds with gusts of up to 24 meters per second damaged roofs, uprooted trees, and caused severe damage to many vehicles. Populated areas affected by the storm included the settlements of Volchsky, Grani, and the village of Tashla. Near the city of Samara, a small boat overturned on the Volga River, resulting in the death of a young woman. 5 other people were rescued. In the Krasnoglinsky district, a tree fell on a tent with campers inside, leading to the death of 2 individuals. During a thunderstorm on the 14th of July, lightning struck wet sand on a beach in the Tula region, instantly killing 3 people, including a child. 3 others were injured. Ukraine. For several days, Ukraine was hit by powerful storms. On the 10th of July, the weather front reached the western part of the country. In the city of Lviv, 110 millimeters of precipitation fell in just 12 hours, an all-time record for the city. The previous maximum was recorded 59 years ago, when 86.3 millimeters of rain fell in a single day. City streets were flooded, and residents were trapped in their homes. Boats had to be used for evacuation. Rivers near the city overflowed, flooding hundreds of homes and vehicles. More than 44,000 customers were left without electricity. The day before, a tornado was observed in Lviv Oblast. As a result of strong winds on the 10th of July in the Cherkasy and Kyiv regions, trees were uprooted and fell on roads and buildings, streets were flooded, and hundreds of towns and villages lost power. In several areas of Kyiv Oblast, unusually large hail in the size of a chicken egg fell. As a result, cars were damaged, rooftops were broken, and crops and orchards were destroyed. In Poltava Oblast, stormy weather persisted for 2 consecutive days and was also accompanied by large hail. The storm caused damage in dozens of towns. On the evening of the 12th of July, Kharkiv Oblast was struck by a powerful downpour accompanied by wind gusts up to 20 meters per second. The strong wind knocked over a tower crane and a tree fell on a commuter train, prompting an evacuation of passengers. Dramatic videos of ball lightning emerged online. Tragically, a woman died and 5 others were injured, including a 7-year-old girl. Belarus. Starting from the 9th of July, Belarus was hit by a powerful storm. Thunderstorms and squally winds with gusts of up to 24 meters per second led to power outages in 170 populated areas. Hurricane-force winds toppled and damaged more than 1,900 hectares of forest, 90% of which were located in the Mahilyao region, the area that took the brunt of the storm. In the city of Mahilyao, during the thunderstorm, a young woman died. She and her husband had sought shelter under a tree that could not withstand the wind and collapsed on her. 4 more people injured during the storm were hospitalized. An EF2 category tornado swept through the village of Varki in the Vitebsk region, uprooting trees and tearing off roofs and even walls of houses. In Minsk, rain poured down in sheets, dramatically reducing visibility. In some places, large hail fell, damaging vehicles. Meteorologists had issued a warning about the thunderstorm front in advance, but the intensity of the precipitation exceeded all forecasts. Romania. On the 12th of July, residents of the commune of Vânători Neamț in Romania witnessed an unusual natural phenomenon. Intense hailfall blanketed the ground and rooftops, creating the illusion of a snowstorm in the middle of summer. The severe weather led to a sudden drop in visibility, and the road surface quickly froze over, making driving conditions extremely hazardous. At the same time, the temperature plunged from 30 degrees Celsius to 12 degrees Celsius in just 10 minutes. India. In the Indian state of Gujarat, on the 9th of July, following several days of torrential rain, a section of a bridge on a national highway suddenly collapsed. Several vehicles that were on the bridge at the time of the collapse fell into the Mahi River. A fuel tanker became stuck on the edge of the break, miraculously holding on to the remaining part of the structure. The tragedy claimed the lives of 20 people, and 1 more person remains missing. 5 individuals were rescued. El Salvador. In the area of the Santa Teresa Resort, located in El Salvador, on the 10th of July, a powerful hydrothermal explosion occurred at the largest geyser in Central America. This geyser is not merely a tourist attraction, but an active hydrothermal vent with a diameter of 70 meters and a depth of 20 meters. Throughout the year, the temperature of the water and steam in the geyser consistently reaches 350 degrees Celsius. As a result of the eruption of boiling water, steam, and volcanic debris, tourist infrastructure was damaged. Road surfaces and trees were coated with hot mud. No one was injured. All individuals in the danger zone were promptly evacuated. According to a local resident, during a similar eruption of this geyser in the year 1989, which claimed 32 lives, her relatives died, burned alive. According to her, the situation has changed little since then. People still do not receive information about potential threats and are not provided with instructions in case of another eruption. Experts recommend introducing a ban on construction within a radius of 200 meters from the hazard zone. According to several specialists, the eruption may be related to seismic activity in Guatemala, where, starting from the 8th of July over the course of 5 days, more than 570 earthquakes were recorded, the largest of which reached a magnitude of 5.7. 7 people were killed, dozens of homes and roads were destroyed, and hundreds of residents were evacuated from high-risk areas. Spain. Starting on the 11th of July, a powerful storm system known as DANA swept across much of northeastern Spain. The region of Aragon was the first to be affected by the weather event. In the municipality of Tarazona, 72 millimeters of rain fell. A downpour accompanied by hail and strong winds hit the city. Torrents of water swept away everything in their path, flooding residential buildings, businesses, and many commercial and office premises. On the 12th of July, a red alert was issued for the entire region of Catalonia due to heavy rainfall, which in some areas reached 155 millimeters. The intensity of the rain was also remarkable. In the city of Igualada, almost an entire month's worth of precipitation fell in just 10 minutes. And in 1 hour, the total tripled that amount. Due to the risk of flooding, the railway company Renfe suspended all regional and suburban train services in Catalonia. As a result, approximately 150 people had to spend the night at Sants train station in Barcelona. The storm damaged a hospital building in Vilafranca del Penedès. An external wall collapsed, and the ground floor was flooded, with water levels reaching up to 1.5 meters in some areas. Considering the severe extent of the damage, the hospital was temporarily closed for an estimated 2 to 3 weeks. At Barcelona Airport, the severe weather repeatedly forced changes to takeoff and landing procedures, causing schedule disruptions and flight delays. One aircraft en route to the United States had to return after hail shattered the airplane's nose cone. During the storm, more than 26,000 lightning strikes were recorded. Due to various consequences of the heavy rainfall in Catalonia, 75 people sought medical assistance. The heavy rains also affected the region of Valencia. The province of Castellón was hit particularly hard. Large hail fell in the town of Burriana. Streets were flooded in Sagunto, and strong winds kept people indoors. The DANA phenomenon is not uncommon in Spain. It typically occurs in the autumn, when warm sea surfaces collide with cold air masses, triggering intense downpours. However, such a severe manifestation of DANA in July is a clear sign of climatic disruption. Latvia. On the 11th of July, several regions of Latvia were struck by a severe storm with heavy rain, gusty winds, and destructive hail. The largest hailstones in the history of the country's meteorological observations, up to 11.5 centimeters in diameter, were recorded in the Smiltene municipality. For the first time in Latvia, giant hail was officially documented, defined as hail with a diameter equal to or greater than 10 centimeters. This event was added to the European Severe Weather Database. The storm left behind destroyed roofs, damaged vehicles, and ruined solar panels. Hail around the world is becoming a serious threat. Its frequency and size are exceeding normal limits. It damages cars, destroys roofs, destroys crops, and injures people. This is no longer a series of isolated incidents. It is a persistent and extremely dangerous climate trend. Just a glance at the chart reveals the scale of the problem. Cases of large hail in Europe are increasing not just rapidly, but exponentially. Alongside the rise in global temperature and the increase in atmospheric moisture content, factors that contribute to hail formation and growth in hail size, there is another cause explaining this sharp increase in hail occurrences, and this factor is of our own making. We ourselves have created an invisible enemy, the existence of which many do not even suspect. This enemy is plastic. It is no longer just garbage accumulating in oceans and soil. Under the influence of sunlight, salt, and friction, plastic breaks down into micro and nanoplastic particles. These invisible fragments penetrate everywhere into water, soil, and air. Carried by sea breezes, evaporation, and precipitation, they rise into the atmosphere and spread thousands of kilometers. The main danger of micro and nanoplastics lies in their ability to retain electrostatic charge. This turns them into active participants in atmospheric dynamics. Charged particles in the air become condensation nuclei. Water droplets and ice crystals form on them. As a result, clouds form faster, and the freezing of droplets occurs at temperatures 4 to 10 degrees Celsius, higher than the usual threshold. In simpler terms, plastic has already become a substance capable of influencing the climate. It participates in the formation of rain, snow, and hail, and can also create risks for aviation. All these facts clearly demonstrate how dangerous plastic is and the impact it already has on our lives. But the real shock for scientists was what they discovered while studying its effects on the human body. What exactly was found out? Watch in the new video by Dr. Egan Chalekian and in the scientists' report, ALLATRA,